Hi, Martin Priest from Active Life Therapy and Fitness here. Again, to do with mobility. Why is mobility important, and why is nobody talking about it if it is so important? Mobility, if you imagine as you get older, being able to get up off the floor is quite an important task, and it's something we tend to lose as we get older. As well as other things that we would like to be able to do as we get older. So, for example, sorry, I don't know how that got on there, but let's just move on. Sorry about that. But my point remains, to be able to move in all these positions, then you need to be working all of those positions. Otherwise, the chances of you getting up off the floor or other activities as you get older becomes less and less. So for example, if you don't raise your arm beyond this point, at some point you're not going to be able to raise your arm above that point. Your body doesn't need to do it, so it won't have the strength to do it, you won't have the mobility to do it either. Let's give you another example. People tend to have these mobility issues because they either do too much of something or they do too little of something. This could be running, cycling, or it could be just sitting in the chair. So let's take our sitting in the chair. Too much of something that you're doing is sitting in the chair if you work, that is, in this position for 8 hours a day. So you're doing too much of sitting. You're also doing too much of shortening this angle in your hips, and you're doing too much of lengthening your hamstrings, your glutes and your back, because when you stand it's at the right tension, but as you sit down everything in this posterior end starts to get stretched, so you're actually holding a stretch for a very long period of time. And the too little of something that you're doing is you're doing too little about it. You're doing too little to counteract this stretch and this shortening that is going on, which is why a lot of people get back pain as a result of just sitting. So with that information in mind, you can now assess, along with the stick rotation and the deep squat that you're doing, roughly where your mobility is at, and maybe have some questions about, well, what kind of things should I be doing about it? That will come later, or you can ask me by replying to me or comment below, something like that. Final thing, why is no one talking about it? One reason, the main reason why no one's talking about mobility is because, quite frankly, it ain't sexy. That's it. What you're going to see is something like this. And not enough of this. So let me know, how is your mobility doing?